In this lecture, let's work on styling up the expense form which we have. So in order to style this thing up, I have to go inside the edit.html, and it's already extending from the base template, but now I actually have to go ahead and dissect each and every field which we have up over here. So inside this form, first of all, I have to create a div. So I would say div, and I want to assign some kind of padding and margin to it. So let's say the padding on the x-axis needs to be 10, the padding on y-axis need to be 10 as well. And now let's place all the input fields inside the div. So I'll create a div. Each div is going to have a label. So I'll create a div for label, and I would create another div for placing the actual input field. So this one is going to be for label, and this one is going to be for the input field. So right inside this one, I would add a label. So I would add a label. I would remove the for from here. And for now, let's say the first label is expense name. So I would say expense name here. I would assign a class and make this label semi-bold. So font dash semi-bold. And then for the next div which we have, this is going to contain the input field. So we want to get the input field from the expense form which we have here. So here I would say expense form, expense underscore form dot name, because that's actually the name of our first field. So let's get rid of this for now, and let's actually see how the first label kind of looks like. So this is what it looks like as of now. So let's also add some shadow to the form as well, so that the form kind of looks separated from the rest of the background. So shadow, let's make it a larger shadow. We have the shadow. Let's also add some margin from all the sides. Let's say margin 10. This is what the form looks like. And let's also assign some classes to these divs as well. So for each label which we have, I want to have a margin bottom of 5, because the label is kind of now stuck to this particular input field. So here I would say class, and I want to have a margin bottom of 5. And for this div, which is for the label and the input field combined, I want the margin of x-axis to be 10. So mx is going to be 10. So if I do that, now it kind of has sufficient margin and padding from all the sides. And also for this input field which we have, let's add some border. So I would say border. And also let's assign a padding of 1 from all the sides. Okay, so now it kind of has a border as well. So now let's copy the same div which we have for the rest of the fields as well. So this one is going to be for name, this one is going to be for expense and category. So I would say expense, and I would rename the last one to category. So here I would say expense amount, I would say expense category, and this thing should be, I guess, the field name is amount. So let's change that to amount as well. So expense from dot amount. Okay, so if I hit refresh, now as you can see, it's looking absolutely fine, and we want to remove the blue borders here, but we are going to do that later. And let's also edit the button as well, which is our submit button. So here I'll go back, I'll add some sort of classes here, but even before that, let's also include this thing in a div so that we could add some margin and padding. So class mx, let's say 10, and empty is going to be, let's say 10 as well. And then let's also style up this button by adding classes. So I want the background of this thing to be green with a shade of 500. I want the padding on the x as 5, padding on the y-axis as 2. I want the text to be white, and I want the font to be bold. Okay, so now I could go back here, hit refresh, and this is what the button looks like. And also, let's say you actually want to align these fields next to each other instead of having them aligned on top of each other. So there's one simple thing which you could do, and that thing is you could actually simply take these divs, which are the inner divs, cut them from here, paste them up over here inside like that. So I'll cut them all from here, paste them inside the main div which we have, get rid of these two divs, place this button inside this one, and let's also get this div inside the first div combined. And once we have this, let's turn the outermost div into a flex and see how that kind of works. So I would say flex, hit refresh, and as you can see, this is what it looks like as of now. So this is what the form looks like, and the edit form, I guess, looks pretty decent. And now our edit functionality is complete and this form is fully functional. So I could add a new price here. I could add a new category. If I click on edit, that is going to work absolutely fine. So this completes the edit functionality, and in the next lecture, let's work on the delete functionality for this form. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.